Welcome to Unlocking Impact. I'm your host, Sara Schoenfeld, CEO of the Trade Impact Foundation. In this podcast, we explore issues at the intersection of the global economy, sustainability, and human rights. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Unlocking Impact. I'm your host, Sara Schoenfeld, and today I'm really excited to share with you a new type of episode, different from what we've done before. If you are familiar with our newsletter, then you know that we like to give tips about how you can make a positive impact through your purchases every day. So, in today's episode, we're going to walk through how you can increase your positive impact when you're buying your denim. Denim is something that nearly everybody has in their closet, but we might not know the harmful environmental and social implications that could be hiding behind those pair of jeans. Did you know, for example, it takes 998 gallons of water to produce just one pair of jeans? I mean, that's equivalent to 3 days of water usage for a US household. But it doesn't have to be that way in the long term. We can start driving positive changes in denim production today. We can do that by making more informed decisions when we're out choosing between different options at the store or online, and we'll explain how that is. So, starting from the very beginning, it's important to understand what is denim, right? By definition, denim is a thick, strong cotton cloth, often blue in color, used especially for making jeans. Interesting fact that the reason why jeans are typically blue is because the indigo dye, a blue dye that's derived from the indigo plant, was originally chosen for the way that it attaches to cotton. Rather than penetrating the cotton like most dyes do, indigo actually attaches onto the cotton, and then it results in a more faded look over time after each wash. Kind of interesting. Anyway, back to what our focus. In order to understand the impact behind your denim, the impact on people and on the planet, we need to first understand how denim is made. Many people don't know that the first step to creating denim is picking cotton. Cotton is either picked by hand or through a machine in a cotton field. The raw cotton is then put into a machine, cleaned, and spun together into threads. Eventually, these threads are dipped into the indigo dye we talked about several times, and soon after they're woven together. Finally, the denim, now it's become denim, and that denim is sanforized, which means it is stretched, heated, and shrunken down. And finally, that finished denim is ready to be distributed all over the world. So now that we understand how denim is made, let's look at some of the possible environmental and social implications of that process, good and bad. First of all, let's look at the environmental impact of denim production. We already know how, we talked about earlier how there is a huge amount of water used to create just a single pair of jeans. From cotton picking to cotton production, even the denim distribution, the excessive use of water throughout may be extremely harmful to the surrounding environment. Denim production is also known for using a variety of toxic chemicals during both the cultivation and manufacturing process. Fertilizers, pesticides, these things are used during the cultivation process, and they can be harmful to the environment. Chemicals are also used during the manufacturing process, with the faded and the texturized jeans being a major culprit of these toxic chemicals. So when you see jeans that don't have that faded look, they likely use less toxic chemicals through that production process. If you see jeans that are faded, they have kind of different texturization, you're probably going to have more chemicals layered in that manufacturing process. Okay, now we just talked a bit about the environmental impact, the planet impact. Let's move on to the people impact. What is the impact on the people involved in denim production? First and foremost, it's really important to say that the creation of denim around the world, whether it's through the cotton, through the manufacturing, can provide very important jobs and can raise the standard of living in many communities around the world where maybe they didn't have the access to these sort of jobs before, from hopefully conscious brands. So there's absolutely that potential. The problem is it's very difficult to have that visibility to see on the ground how are the farmers, the workers being treated. How can we be sure that the pair of jeans we pick off the rack was ethically produced using fair trade principles. Okay, first of all, it's important to understand where the cotton was sourced from. Transparency to the sourcing of cotton that's then used to create the denim is very important if you want to be consuming ethically made goods. The cotton picking process is particularly grueling. And furthermore, cotton picking is a process highly susceptible to forced labor, a form of modern slavery. So, looking for companies that are transparent about where they are sourcing their cotton that's then used in the denim production, that is key to facilitating ethical cotton sourcing around the world. So, the more transparency we have, the better. And finally, we already discussed toxic chemicals as being harmful to the planet, but what about the people who may be exposed to those chemicals during the manufacturing process? Toxic chemicals can be used throughout manufacturing processes, such as the denim process, and can really put the health of factory workers and even the local communities around the factories at risk. So we want to make sure we're supporting brands that are taking measures and being careful and ethical in that production process. We just talked about how denim is made, and we highlighted just a few of the environmental and social implications of that process. There are so many more, and we can talk for hours about this. But let's take a moment to review what we've learned and think about how we can apply these concepts to our purchases going forward. The first step is gaining awareness of these issues, because then when you are out in the marketplace, distinguishing between the products becomes easier. Another quick tip is that you could be mindful of picking jeans that did not go through that additional chemical exposure, as we talked about those denim jeans that are washed or textured. They likely have gone through additional chemical exposures, which is not only bad for the planet, but also may be harmful for the workers. So, without a universal certification telling you, yes, this is the ethically made product versus the non ethically made product, what do you do? Today, it just takes a couple minutes to go on a brand's website before you buy their products. Get to know the brand. What do they stand for? What do they value? What do they emphasize? Because a brand that's talking about sustainability or other ethical issues, they're going to be more likely to have ethical supply chains producing those goods. We can't say for sure, obviously, and there's so much that you can continue to research, but at the least, right, we're not expecting you to spend days and days researching a company, but you can go on your phone for a few minutes and get a sense of what are their values. What are they focused on? Because a company that's focused on sustainability is more likely to be working on the development of more sustainable practices going forward. And that's where we're really going to start to see that big movement in terms of sustainable products. The next time that you go to purchase a pair of jeans, we hope that you look at the denim and you think to yourself, who made these jeans? Where did they come from? How were they made? What is the impact left behind on people and on the planet? Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. We hope that you learned something new and picked up a few tips that you can take with you when buying your next pair of jeans. As usual, please don't forget to rate and review the show. We really do appreciate that. And we hope that you'll be back for our next episode of Unlocking Impact. Thanks a lot.